Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBM RPG sample video. In this video I want to show you an extension for Visual Studio Code that I have been working on during this summer. The extension is named Display File DDS Edit and it is designed to help you edit DDS source files for IBM. Now, this is not a graphical designer, it doesn't create a visual screen editor. Instead, it displays your original DDS source and gives you an interactive structure view. With just a couple of clicks, you can add, delete, or modify records, constants, fields, attributes, indicators, and so on. I think this is very useful because, as you know, starting with IBM 7.6, we no longer have access to the well-known SDA tool. So, this extension can really help us manage our display files more easily, at least until there's something better. So let's go. To start, I'd like to tell you that the extension can, of course, be downloaded from Visual Studio Code Market or simply by searching it in the extension tab from within VS Code. Once installed, it is very easy to use. I must say that the version is currently a preview, as I am constantly modifying it, adding new features and fixing bugs. If you find any issue or errors, please add an issue via the GitHub extensions page so I can work on it as soon as possible. Well, I'm now connected to my IBM using Code4i as always. In addition to Code4i, I have other extensions installed, including IBM Renderer, which is a very interesting extension that shows a preview of how the screen will appear once in use. I know this extension is being improved to be a much more modern and visual screen editor like SDA. But for now, it works for me, so I can preview the screen without having to compile it. So, let me open a display file DDS source. This one, for example. Okay, as you can see, here we have the source. If you see, here you can press and then you will see a preview of the compiled screen. I think this function is very cool and it is very helpful if you are modifying the DDS source manually. If you want to create or deactivate some indicators, you just need to look for the flip indicators command in the palette command and then select the indicators you need to enable or disable and you'll see how it works. It is so simple. For example, in my DDS there are fields that will disappear if the 50 indicator is on. So let's do it. Let's look for the flip indicators command. Let's activate the 50 indicator. Okay, and if I press here, then all the fields are shown. Okay, well, let's see now my extension. You can go to the Explorer icon and you'll see a new panel here named DSPF Display File Structure. Be careful because if you have many extensions installed, this extension may be at the bottom and you won't see it. Also, you can press here in this button and you can select it here if it is not enabled. Okay. If I open it, well, you can see two levels: file level and records. In the file level, you can see the attributes about the file. In this case, we can see all these attributes that are the same as we have in the source. Okay. And in records level, you can see the different records defined in the display file. In this case, we have only one. Okay. Then you can open the record you need, and then you'll be able to see the record attributes, if there is any, and a list of fields and constants defined in the record. All of them with their own attributes and indicators. If you click on a field or on a constant, you can navigate through the source in the same way as clicking on the different records. Okay. Well, every change you made on the source manually will be automatically added to the display file structure. So you always have an updated structure of your source file in the schema. For example, imagine that I add here, I can change it, this, cancel all the option, and then you have it here, okay? I must say that the extension is not checking errors. So if there's something wrong at the moment, it will not tell you. Well, let's see now some of the options you have available on the extension for editing a DDS source. Let's start with the file level. Let's close it, and this one, and these two. Well, imagine you want to create a new record. Well, you can go to the file level, and on the clicking on the right button of the mouse, then you'll see a menu where you can click on new record. Then the extension will ask you the name of the record, the type of the record you want to create, and depending on this, for example, in case of Windows, then it will ask you how many columns and rows it will have, and the title, etc. If it is a subfile, it will ask you about all the things. I'm working right now in subfiles, so there are things that are not complete by now, but they will be soon. Other thing you can do in file level is adding command keys. These command keys are for the file in this case, and not for a concrete record. We'll see later how can be done for a record. Well, imagine for example you want to create you want to add a command key for the F12 function key. It is so simple. Let's do it. New command key. We can add more, replace all, or remove all. Okay, we are going to replace them. Okay, so the F3 has been removed. We can add, for example, again the F3. That is command attention, and I can add here end of program description in the description, and this command will not use an indicator. Okay, so it is added here as you can see. Let's go now to record level. What can we do at record level? If we use the right button of the mouse on the record name, we have a menu where we can select any of these options: new constant, new field. We can change the window size. That is only available when a record is a window. We can copy or delete a record. We can add buttons, and we can add command keys. Okay, these command keys are for this record. Okay, for showing you a few of these options working, let me create a copy of this record, that is data01, in a new window record. And I will add all the components one by one so you can see how simple it is. Okay, let me start making this window a little bigger so you can see it better. Okay, so let's start creating a new record that is going to be Windows 02, for example, new record, Windows 02, and this is going to be a window. Okay, we select this option, and we are going to have how many rows? Okay, I think that, well, we're gonna have about 6, so I think 8 rows. Okay, and the number of columns, let me write 45. Okay, at this moment, and we're going to put this window bottom center. Okay, center horizontally, position up the bottom. Okay, and the window title is gonna be customer program, as we have in the data01 record. Okay, so we get a message, successfully created window record Windows 02. We can close this, and now we have this that has been created automatically. Okay, well, this is the window that we have. Okay, well, by the moment we have these options that are predefined. Okay, in the future I will create some configuration to add different borders, different kind of titles, etc. Okay, at the moment we have this. Okay, now we can navigate using clicking on data01. We go to data01 record and Windows 02. Okay, Well, what's the next that I have to add here? Okay, we are going to, well, we have the window, the title. Let's add the buttons. Okay, what are the buttons? Well, buttons are the function keys that we have in all our records usually. Okay, the F3, the F12. You can see them always in the at the bottom of every record. Okay, and we can add them automatically using this option. For example, we can add, like in the data 01 record, we can have F3, that is end program. We can have F12, that is cancel, and we are not going to have any more. So we can press escape, and then they are added automatically to the record. And it is added, they are added correctly in their place. So we don't have to calculate the positions or anything. Okay. The next thing we are going to add is the different constants that we are going to have in our window. Okay, so we are going to create new constant that is going to be well, as we have here, customer, this way, and we are going to write this with an absolute position. Okay, that is going to be, let me write it in the row number 2 and the position number 2. Okay, okay, we can preview it, and we have this customer here. I think it is okay. Well, let me see customer, and all this constant is 13 character length. Okay, well, I have to remember this. Let me create a new constant now that is gonna be the name. We are not going to add the dots and the semicolon. Okay, we're gonna add name, and we are going to add it relative to existing constant. Customer, I want to put it below that constant. So we have the name that is below the customer. Okay, we can add a new constant that is gonna be address relative and below the name. Okay, okay, and we are going to have country, new constant, country relative to the address that is going to be below. Oh, below, not above. So let me do it again. New constant, country relative to address, and we're going to have it below. Okay, so we have this preview now. Okay, it seems to be okay. And now, do you remember that we have this that is 13 character length? Okay, well, we are going to do something that is complete all these constants automatically. Clicking on fill constant, we're going to add a dot as the character to repeat, the semicolon, and we are going to say that we have 13 character length. Okay, so it is filled this way automatically. Okay, we're going to do it with address dot semicolon 13, and we're going to do it for country dot semicolon 13. Okay, so we can close all these messages, and we have it this way. Okay, now what are we going to add now? Well, let me in the same way that we have here the 50 indicator for these three constants, we can add it there in this constants too. Okay, so we can, to the name, we can add an indicator, that is the indicator number 50. Okay, also to address, indicators 50, for column, for country 2, indicators 50. Okay. So if I see the preview, okay, this is activated because we have the flip indicators active. So we're going to remove it. Now we can see the preview, and the only thing that we can see is this. Okay. Also, for the F12 button, we can add this indicator. So we can go here to F12, add an indicator 50 in the same way. Okay. So this is the same as we have here in the preview. Okay, as you can see. Well, it seems to be okay. So I have to add here to this record because we have here the F3 function key defined here at file level, but at this level, at the record level, we don't have it. So we are going to add the command key. There's going to be F12. There's going to be an attention key, and this is going to be cancel, okay, with no indicator. Well, no, well, with the 50 indicator, okay. If it is 50 indicator, we can press the F12 function key. Okay, nothing more, and as you see, it is added automatically. Okay. Well, now what we are going to add are the different fields. Okay, so we are going to add fields, new field. The first field we're going to add is the customer ID. Okay, that is an input-output field. New field, that is this type, numeric only, and the size, that is 50. Okay, and it is going to be relative to an existing element. It is a it has to be on the right side of customer. Okay, so we can write here to the right, and it has been added automatically here. If you see, it is there. So it works fantastic, I think. Okay, so we can now add here to customer ID a editing keyword. Okay, we're going to add the seed as we have here, you see. Okay, and the different attributes, we're going to add the PC attribute with no not 50 indicator. Attribute PC not 50, and also we're gonna add the PR indicator attribute, sorry, with the 50 indicator. Okay, so oops, so what we have is this. Okay, so it is automatically added. Okay, and also we're gonna add an error message here to this field. So we're gonna add an error message that is gonna be activated with the indicator of 31, and with this error message, customer dash not exists. Okay, and the response indicator is gonna be we're gonna use it, and it is gonna be the same. So just this finish, and we can finish adding messages, and the message has been added here, as you see. Okay, well, it seems to be running okay. It seems to be something wrong here. Okay, I have fixed it manually. Well, more things. Customer ID, I think it is all done. Okay, let's add a new the customer name, for example. Here we can add a new field. That is customer name. This is going to be output, new field, alphanumeric 40, and we're gonna put this relative to an existing constant, in this case name on the right. Okay, so it is added automatically this way. We're gonna add here the attribute high. Well, we're gonna add indicator 50. We're gonna put this attribute that is gonna be high. Okay. Now we're gonna add customer address. The name is add dd output new field alphanumeric 40. This is relative to customer address, that is name address here to the right. Okay, let me add the attribute high and the indicator is gonna be 50 indicator. Okay, well, more things. Name address, well, let's write the country here. Okay, country. I have not added the postal code. Okay, it is not needed. New field, customer, country, output, new field, alphanumeric 40, relative. Okay, and this is gonna be country to the right, and we're gonna add indicator 50. We're gonna add the attributes high. Okay, with no indicator. Okay, and I think it is all done. Let's see. Well, let me activate the flip indicators 50. Okay, and if I see a preview, you can see all the elements inside the screen. Okay, well, as you can see, the window is small. Okay, all these elements doesn't fit into the window, so we can change the size of the window. Okay, how can we do it? Well, in the record, we can press on the right click on the button. We can click on this option, change window size, and you can see we can change the size, specify new window size, okay, manually, or we can auto adjust to fit all the content. Okay, so we can do this option, and we can continue having the screen, the window on this way, bottom center. Okay, so it has automatically auto adjust the window, so we can see it, and as you can see, all is fit inside the window automatically. So we can also see if I deactivate the indicator 50, we can see that all is done, all is shown correctly in the screen. So in this video we have been talking about the display file DDS edit extension for Visual Studio Code, which helps you work with DDS display files in a structured and efficient way. I hope you enjoyed the video and that this extension is useful in your daily work. I will try to improve it in the coming days and weeks to make it even more useful. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like to see more features in the extension or if you have suggestions for improvements. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.